Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Today we're back, and today is Saturday, so it is time for NFL Week 10 Sunday and Monday game predictions. So, you already know what I've done. You already know, this ain't the first time. I've got the injury reports typed up. I've got other news typed up and prepared for today's video of every single Sunday game except for the Monday Night Football game, because they have not released this Saturday injury report yet. But hopefully by the time I get to that game, which will be probably 45 minutes from now, hopefully it'll be out. So, it is Saturday, November 13th, 2021, here in Minnesota, you guys. It is currently snowing right now. Yep. If you can, I don't know. It's not focused, so it's probably hard to tell. But yeah, it's currently snowing. So let's go back. I had the perfect camera angle a minute ago, so let's get right back to that perfect angle. Nope, not there. It's got to be straight. Alright, there we go. That's good enough. It's not quite matched. No, that's actually pretty centered. That's pretty good. There we go, right there. That is what we want to see right there. So, onwards we are with today's video. We already did Thursday Night Football. I picked the Ravens to beat the Dolphins. That is not what happened. My pick did not end well. And, yeah, so that's it for that. So, we will begin the Sunday games right away. I already talked about the bye week teams. This week on the bye, let's take a look. It is the Texans, Bengals, Giants, and Bears. I already gave my analysis for those teams on my last video. Check that one out. And I also gave my Thursday night preview, which you wouldn't care about anymore because the game's over. And I did not pick that game correctly. It did not end well for me. So here we go. We shall get started. As soon as I pull up the NFL playoff picture, for currently, we are in. So this is actually going to be updated after Thursday Night Football. Usually I film the videos before Thursday Night Football, so now this should be updated. In the Ravens, 6-3. So it is updated with their current thing. So now we are set to go. Here we go, everybody. Kicking it off, we have our first matchup. You can see it on the screen already. It is the Saints, and it is the Titans. The New Orleans Saints and the Tennessee Titans. So, we got some major news break yesterday. We learned that AK-41, Alvin Kamara, is out for this game. That is the Saints running back. Their star running back, Alvin Kamara, will be out for this game, along with left tackle Teron Armstead for the Saints. For the Saints, it was reported that quarterback Trevor Siemian is set to start this game, but Taysom Hill will be taking some snaps during the game with different packages and bunches. As for the Titans, in is set to be left tackle Taylor Lewan for the first time since Week 6. They're going to be without linebacker David Long in this game, and questionable includes wide receiver Julio Jones, defensive tackle, sorry I'm going to say his name wrong, Tier Tart. Sorry if I probably said that wrong, but oops. And linebacker Rashaan Evans. Those three are all questionable. If you guys don't know, yes, they probably have more questionable players, but if you haven't seen last week's video, I only take starters and sometimes backups. So usually only starters. I only put them in my typed up report. So if it's like some fourth string player, I'm not going to include them because they probably won't see the game. So I only include the major players. So there you go. There's your injury report. Taylor Lewan being back is really important, but it is tough as the Saints are without their 2,000-yard rusher last season, Derrick Henry. Henry is set to be with last week. What did I read? 6 to 10 weeks, I believe. He's set to be out, which is majority, if not, no, that is all of the regular season. Might make it back, but only if they make a playoff push and only if they feel comfortable with him playing. So very slim chance that Derrick Henry will be returning this year, but there's still slight hope. It was a surprising factor to me to see that AK is out for this week. I was not actually expecting that to happen. And Yeah, so it came to a surprise. I saw that he hadn't practiced on Tuesday and Wednesday, or Wednesday and Thursday. So when I got the notification that the Saints ruled Alvin Kamara out, I was like, wow, that's an important news break right there. The New Orleans Saints are currently sitting at 6th in the sixth in the NFC with a record of 5-3. They're second in the NFC South. The Tennessee Titans are sitting at the top of the AFC with a record of 7-2, and they are first in the AFC South. The Titans played against the Ravens this year, I believe. In the winner... No, they did not play this year. I thought they did play the Titans this year. But I guess not. Titans versus Ravens 2021. No, these two teams have not played this year. I thought they had, but... So I do not know who would be the top. I'm assuming the Titans would be a top if the Ravens lost, but I guess... Wait, I mean the Ravens did lose. I assume the Titans are still on top even with a loss, and but I guess I don't know for sure. But yeah. As for this game, with Alvin Kamara out and Taylor Lewan returning, those are important factors. Overall, I do like the Titans in this matchup. They have been hot recently, and they are on a 5-game win streak, returning home to Nissan Stadium. It's hard not to like the Titans at this point, so I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans over the New Orleans Saints. The Bills and the Jets are our next matchup Hold on, you guys. I just realized I left my one sheet of paper downstairs. Let me go get it. Okay, I'm back, and I gained the paper I needed. Last week, it is the one where I read off the last week, what teams played and who won, because I have it all marked down here. So we're going to start with So obviously the Ravens lost to the Dolphins, like I talked about. So on here, let's say where the new standings for those teams are, because I did not do that. Baltimore Ravens are currently second in the AFC with a record of 6-3, and they are leading the AFC North. The Dolphins are now 13th in the AFC with a record of 3-7, and they're third in the AFC East. They did move up. Actually, I don't know how to read this part. They moved up 2 spots, but I don't know if that's before the game or after the game. Hard to tell. So yeah, we're just going to move on from there. The New Orleans Saints, I did not read this part off. The Saints are coming off of a loss to the Atlanta Falcons last week, and the Tennessee Titans are coming off of a win over the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday Night Football. Now we have the Bills and the Jets. The Buffalo Bills are coming off of a surprising 9-6 loss. What a score, 9-6. That is a weird score right there. 9-6 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, which nobody in the entire United States of America country anticipated coming, but it happened. And the New York Jets are coming off of Mike White. We'll talk about him in just a minute. Oh, they're coming off of a loss on last Thursday night against the Colts. They are the Jets. What am I thinking? So yeah, Bills, Jets, here we go. Let's get this first, then let's talk about whatever else I have to talk about, and then we'll move on. For the Jets, out in this game is linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. Big key piece to the defense is Tremaine Edmonds, but they have a lot of important players back in the lineup. Running back Zach Moss this morning, he was cleared from concussion protocol to play in this game. Perfect. I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. Offensive tackle Spencer Brown, tight end Dawson Knox, who I also have in one of my fantasy leagues, and corner Teron Johnson are all set to return this week, and they are in. For the Jets, quarterback Mike White set to be the starter. I believe that Zach Wilson, I believe he's listed as doubtful going into the game. But either way, Mike White is set to be the starter, to the happiness of all Jets fans in the world. Questionable for this game includes offensive guard Elijah Vera Tucker, defensive end Shaq Lawson, wide receiver Corey Davis. Corey Davis has been out for the past few weeks, actually. So, yes, analysis on this game. The Bills, with their loss last week was it a fluke loss, or is it a testament of the team? And it's definitely a fluke loss. This team is not built to lose a 9-6 game to the Jaguars, who only have, 2 wins on the year? 1 win on the year? I don't even know. Jaguars are 2-6 now. They were 1-6, and they beat the Bills. Like, come on now. But they're not a team that loses to a 1-6 team. This team is still an AFC contender. They just had a tough game, and that happens to every team. The New York Jets are, let's face it, the Jets are pretty bad. Mike White, people love him, and that's the only positive of their entire team, especially if Corey Davis is out again. As for this game, honestly, not much analysis needed. I'm going to go with the Bills, really, under all circumstances. So we're going to take the Bills over the Jets in this one. The Browns are set to play the Patriots this week. Yep. The Cleveland Browns are coming off of a win, I believe, over the Steelers, unless that was 2 weeks. Nope, that was 2 weeks ago. And they lost. What am I thinking? I'm really bad at my job, you guys. The Cleveland Browns are coming off of a win over the Cincinnati Bengals. The New England Patriots are coming off of a win over the Los Angeles Chargers, I believe. Nope. Chargers played the Eagles. The Patriots are coming off of... They're coming off of a win over the Carolina Panthers. The New England Patriots, everybody, are currently sitting at 7th in the AFC with a record of 5 wins and 4 losses. They're 2nd in the AFC East to the Bills. The Cleveland Browns are currently sitting out of the playoff picture. The Browns are 9th in the AFC with a record of 5-4. Wow, look at all these teams that aren't even in the top 7 that are still good. Bengals, Browns, and Chiefs. Those are teams, well, Chiefs, Browns, Bengals are 8, 9, 10. And those teams aren't even in the top 7, which is just unbelievable. AFC is pretty good this year. The top of the NFC is really good, but then you get to the wild card and it's just kind of eh. But they're pretty rounded out. Titans, Ravens, Chargers, Bills, Raiders, Steelers, Patriots, Chiefs, Browns, Bengals. That is the top 10 right there. And that is pretty good. The Colts have also been in a resurgence recently. And yeah, wow, the AFC is good this year, everybody. So that is the Patriots and Browns in the playoff picture, everybody. Now, as for the injuries and keynotes in this game, let's see what I've written down. The Cleveland Browns in for this game. They will be with linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. After being on the injured reserve, JOH will be in for the game, and that is an important note. Out for this game, running back Nick Chubbs. I literally have it written here. Nick Chubbs. We all call him that now because it's more fun. Nick Chubbs is out in this game, but his real name is Nick Chubb, but it's more fun to say Nick Chubbs. Defensive end, Tech McKinley is out in this game. Questionable is corner Greedy Williams. So, Nick Chubbs is out. That is an important note. But we're about to get to the Patriots, and their entire team is questionable again. Last week, the Patriots were literally every single player on the team was listed as questionable. And that is basically what it is again today. For anyone wondering, side note, it's 27 degrees right now. Oh, actually, it's 26 degrees now. Right as I said it changed from 27 to 26 degrees outside. That's Minnesota for you. Patriots will be without running back Damian Harris. Just like a half hour ago, I saw that he was downgraded from questionable to out. Doubtful in this game is linebacker Jamie Collins, and questionable N'Keal Harry, Jonnu Smith, Shaq Mason, Donta Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, and Jalen Mills are all listed as questionable. A lot of key players, a lot of key pieces. As for the Browns, they still do have Kareem Hunt, so he will be able to patch him up. Wait, is he hurt? He was hurt for a while. I might not be up to date on this, you guys. Is Kareem Hunt? Oh, Kareem Hunt is out. He will not be returning for Patriots game. I did not know that. All right, interesting. So with Kareem Hunt out and with Nick Chubbs out, who do the Who do they even have anymore? Let's go to their depth chart. They have... Oh, Demetric Felton is out as well. Dearness Johnson! What a goat. Dearness Johnson will be the starting running back with Chubes and Kareem Hunt both out in this game. Even with their running backs out, I still do trust the Browns in this one. Patriots have their entire team questionable, and they're kind of a hit-or-miss team. So I am going to go with the Cleveland Browns anyways, because I feel like going with the Browns. So we're going to go with the Browns over the Patriots in this matchup. The Jaguars and Colts are in our next matchup. Jaguars and Colts are our next matchup, everybody. The Jacksonville Jaguars are coming off of a win over the Buffalo Bills somehow last week, which we kind of talked about earlier. The Indianapolis Colts are coming off of a win against the New York Jets last Thursday night. The Colts have actually been in a resurgence recently. They have been in a renaissance. They have been in a revolution. Every single word I just listed pertains to the Colts. The Jacksonville Jaguars are currently 15th in the AFC with a record of 2-6. As for the playoffs, they can honestly kiss that goodbye. The Indianapolis Colts are listed as 12th in the AFC with a record of 4-5. They started the year, I believe, 2-5, but I don't know for sure. We're going to just check it out because now I'm curious about it. The Colts, they started the year really bad. They started the year 0-3, 1-3. They started the year 1-4, and now they've won 3 out of their past 4 games. So, hey, Colts have been in a renaissance, like I mentioned. As for my notes on this game, the Jaguars, their only major injury questionable that I saw is running back James Robinson, who's listed as questionable, like I already said. Last week, the Jaguars did not play James Robinson, and I played Carlos Hyde, and he did not do great, but he did okay for my fantasy team. I'm really short in running backs in one of my leagues. I'm starting Zach Moss, and I started... Who was the other one I started? Oh! Not Le'Veon Bell, Devonta Freeman. I started Devonta Freeman and Zach Moss in one of my leagues because I'm so short on running backs because I have Saquon Barkley, and it's his bye week, so... Yeah, that's nice. I also have... No, Zeke's fine. Other running backs in my fantasy leagues, I have Chase Edmonds, who's going to be out for sure for this week, and probably for... No, he was placed on the IR today. So he's going to be out for sure 3 weeks. I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who is not set to play Sunday. I have Dalvin Cook, who's, sometimes he gets hurt. I have Saquon Barkley, who's been hurt a lot of this year, but right now he's on his bye week. I think that about sums it up. That's all my major running backs right there. My running back is not my position of strength. Wide receiver is my position of strength. Except I have Calvin Ridley in 2 of my leagues, and he's currently out right now due to personal reasons. And I also have... Who do I also have? Oh, I have Devonta Parker in 2 of my leagues, and now he's on the IR. So he'll be out for sure 2 more games. And that's just simply... I haven't had the best luck this year with injuries, but whatever. It happens. It happens to everyone. And that sidetracked me from my point. Jaguars and Colts. Jaguars are a team, and the Colts have actually been in a renaissance recently. That is like my 4th time saying renaissance, but I don't care. Overall, the Colts have actually been decent recently. They are making a push to get back into contention, and that is where I like them to take another step this week. I do like the Colts in this game. I don't even know if I read their report. I did not. In for the Colts this week is wide receiver T.Y. Hilton after being in concussion protocol. Out for this game includes former Vikings corner Xavier Rhodes. We are very familiar with Xavier Rhodes, and I could go on about him, about how good he was and then how not good he was. He was a hot and cold player. As well as they are also questionable for this game is defensive tackle DeForest Buckner, and that's about it. Really doesn't matter if Buckner plays or not. I'm going Colts anyways because the Colts are overall the better team. It's also important to note whether or not James Robinson plays this week. Colts over Jaguars. The Bucs are taking on the Washington football team in our next matchup, everybody. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming off of their bye week, as are the Washington football team. Both teams coming off their bye, fresh and healthy, but not really. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers put Scotty Miller on the IR yesterday, I believe. So that's a big, tough loss to their team, but they are still pretty deep at wide receiver, except for the fact that Antonio Brown is out for this game. Chris Godwin is also listed as questionable, so their wide receiver core really not doing too great, actually. I take back what I said earlier. The Bucs will also be without tight end Gronk, as Gronk is still dealing with, he had back spasms, and yeah, I have him on my fantasy team, so I was not too happy with that. He was a good start in weeks like 1 and 2, and then after that, it's just simply not been going well, as he's been hurt a lot of the year. Luckily, I have Noah Fant because Gronk is my backup, actually. And Fant's going to be back this week, which we'll talk about later. Also questionable for this game includes the linebacker Jason Pierre-Paul, a.k.a. JPP, as I have listed on here. He is questionable for this game. Bucs have some major injuries still that they're not really getting rid of. The Washington football team placed on the IR defensive end Montez Sweat. He'll be out for at least 3 games and won't be eligible to return until week, let's think about this, 10, 11, 12, 13. Week 13, he'll be eligible to return. Also out for this game includes wide receiver Curtis Samuel for the Washington football team and questionable right tackle Sam Cosmi. So, major injuries for the Bucs, but they're the better team, so I'm already going to pick the Bucs, but I have not talked about other things. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are currently 3rd in the NFC with a record of 6-2. The Washington football team is sitting at 15th in the NFC with a record of 2-6. Washington can kiss football playoff hopes goodbye, and the Bucs can just keep powering through, you know. Bucs are injury riddled, but they're just simply the better team. Not much to say besides Bucs win, so that's what I'm going to leave you with. I didn't give much analysis on this game, but there really isn't much analysis needed. Both teams coming up to their bye week. AB is out for this game. JPP is questionable. Montez Sweat to the IR. Gronk is out for this game. Yeah, we're going to go with the Bucs in this one. The Falcons and Cowboys are the next matchup, everybody. The Atlanta Falcons are coming off of, what did I say? I believe they're coming off of a win, over the New Orleans Saints. The Cowboys are coming off of a loss. I remember they played bad. The Cowboys are coming off of a loss to the Broncos, which I really was not expecting. The Cowboys were playing hot. They destroyed the Vikings, and then they whiffed the last week, and it was not well. Cowboys are going to be without defensive end Randy Gregory. He was placed on the IR today. They're going to be with wide receiver Michael Gallup. He's set to make his return for the first time since week 1. They will be without left tackle Tyron Smith, and questionable for this game is wide receiver Cedric Wilson. Still on the IR is DeMarcus Lawrence and Neville Gallimore. The reason I wrote that down is because, man, they are getting short in depth at the defensive line. With Randy Gregory now on the IR, DeMarcus Lawrence is on the IR, Neville Gallimore is on the IR. That is 3 of their starting defensive linemen on the IR. Not looking well for them. But luckily for them, Michael Gallup will be returning for the first time since week 1. Falcons have been playing actually decent football. Hold on, I forgot something. The Cowboys are 4th in the NFC with a record of 6-2. The Falcons are 7th in the NFC with a record of 4-4. If you're the Minnesota Vikings, which is me, we would want the Cowboys to win this game. Overall, the Falcons have actually been playing decent football recently, but the Cowboys have as well, aside from last week. I do think the Cowboys should be able to get back on track, and I certainly hope so. Home game in Dallas, Arlington. I'm going to go with the Cowboys over the Falcons, and boy, do I hope that is correct. I just have a feeling that the Cowboys hopefully can get back on track this week, even despite their defensive line problems, and at least Michael Gallup will be making his return. So he'll be my player to watch in this game. Cowboys take the win. The Lions and Steelers are the next matchup, everybody. The Detroit Lions are coming off their bye week. They are 0-8. Will they get their first win? I don't know. Pittsburgh Steelers are coming off of a win on Monday over the Chicago Bears. Good game. I only watched the end of it, but it was a good game. The Lions obviously are currently 16th in the NFC at the bottom with a record of 0-8. Will they become 0-9? Yup. They're going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, everybody. The Steelers are 6th in the AFC with a record of 5-3. Yeah. For my report on this game, what do I have written up, everybody? The Lions are going to be without running back Jamal Williams and kicker Austin Seibert. What is his name? Somebody tell me, please. Questionable in this game is left tackle Taylor Decker, but he is set to play. Taylor Decker has been out for a while, and now he is finally set to make his return tomorrow. The Steelers are going to be without wide receiver Chase Claypool, and that is the only injury that I have reported. There's not much I have to say about this game besides the fact that the Lions are 0-8. So we're going to go and make them 0-9. Let's go, Steelers. I'm going to go with the Steelers over the Lions in this game. Why? Honestly, just common sense. So we're going to go Steelers over the Lions. The Seahawks and Packers are our next matchup, everybody. The Seattle Seahawks are coming off of their bye week. The Green Bay Packers are coming off of a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Here we go. The Seahawks, this is a big game for injuries, as in two quarterbacks making their returns tomorrow, is what I mean by that. In is quarterback Russell Wilson. He has been out since, I believe, week 5, if I remember right. Week 5 or week 4. Russell Wilson has been out, and finally, I think it was ahead of schedule, Russell Wilson was taken off of the IR, and he is set to make the start against the Packers. The Packers are set to be with Aaron Rodgers, as he was taken off the IR today. So Rodgers will be playing, but he will be coming into this game with no practice. He has not practiced in really 2 weeks. So will that affect him at all? I do not know. The Jordan Love made his first start in the NFL last week for the Packers. He did not play great, but also wasn't absolutely bad, but it was not great as well. I do think that Rodgers is the spark to the team, and that is why that they are so good. Doubtful for the Packers is left tackle David Bakhtiari and defensive tackle Kingsley Keke. Questionable is defensive end Kenny Clark and corner Eric Stokes, their first-round pick. The Seahawks are questionable, defensive tackle Al Woods, and that is it. That is their only injury. As for this game, Seahawks are coming off their bye week. Russell Wilson set to play. As for the Packers, they are coming off of a struggle game last week. But Aaron Rodgers is set to play on almost no practice. You know what? If this were 15 seconds ago, I was getting ready to pick the Packers and move on. But I'm feeling on the edge today. I'm going to go Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson making his comeback. Aaron Rodgers, minimal practice. And the Packers just simply could not fire last week. So I feel like, well, could that play a factor into this week? Who knows? We're going to go Seattle over Green Bay because I'm feeling like an upset special could be this game. And I just simply have a feeling. We're going to go Seahawks over the Packers. I also did not list where these teams are, so we'll quick do that. The Packers are second in the NFC with a record of 7-2. They were first in the NFC until they lost to the Chiefs last week. The Seahawks are currently sitting at 10th in the NFC with a record of 3-5. So there we go. Let's go Seahawks. Wait. If the Seahawks win, then that would put them ahead of the Vikings if the Vikings lose. Ooh, actually, as a Vikings fan, you'd almost... I don't know. As long as the Vikings win... If the Vikings lose, we want the Packers to win because the Vikings are winning the NFC North. Let's face the expectation. Let's face the reality. The Vikings are not winning the NFC North, at least not with Mike Zimmer. That's not happening. But if the Vikings win, then maybe they want the Seahawks to win because that would keep them paralleled and that would allow them to get one game closer to the Packers. So, who knows? This is a conditional game for the Vikings. But I'm still going Seahawks over the Packers because I'm feeling like an upset is in the works. Now we have the Eagles and the Broncos, everybody. The Philadelphia Eagles are coming off of a loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. The Denver Broncos are coming off of a win over the Dallas Cowboys. The Broncos are currently sitting at 11th in the AFC with a record of 5 wins and 4 losses. The Philadelphia Eagles are currently sitting at 12th in the NFC with a record of 3-6. They are not making the playoffs. Broncos probably will not make the playoffs, but there's still hope. Let's go to the report that I have written here. Eagles are still without running back Miles Sanders on the IR. He is eligible to return next week. Questionable for this game is defensive end Josh Sweat. Wait, I feel like he was out when I read it last time, but maybe not. Let's make sure, though, but... Oh, he's in concussion protocol, but it doesn't say that he's out. Maybe I was right when I wrote questionable, but it also says Darius Slay is day-to-day with a hamstring injury, but I did not write him on my report. As for the Broncos, in for this game is tight end Noah Fant, thank goodness. He was out last week due to the COVID, and he will be in for this game, which is good because he's my starting tight end in 2 different fantasy leagues. Out with COVID, quarterback Drew Lock, who is their backup to Teddy Bridgewater, but it was still just an important note because it's the backup quarterback. Drew Lock is out for this game. Their offensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur, and former Vikings offensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur, is in my tenure, I could go on about Vikings coordinators and how much I haven't liked them in the past. There are only 2 coordinators I've truly liked, Pat Shurmur and Kevin Stefanski. Other than that, no. Everyone else is a hard no for me. I can only think of a few of them. Gary Kubiak is a no. Clint Kubiak is a hard no. John DeFilippo, he's also a hard no. What other offensive coordinator? I can't even think of many other ones, but yeah. He was a legend. Well, he wasn't a legend, but I really like Pat Shurmur here. I thought he did a really good job. Out for this game, left for the Broncos, left tackle Garrett Bowles set to be out again. Right tackle Bobby Massey is out. Questionable Tim Patrick, Dalton Risner, Shelby Harris, Malik Reed, Baron Browning, and Patrick Surtain. They have some important pieces questionable for this game. Noah Fant is making his return, but I feel like the COVID and without Shurmur could be an important factor. I was about to pick the Eagles in this game. You know what? Let's do it. We're going to go Eagles over the Broncos. I just have a feeling that the COVID could play a factor into this one. The Broncos have a lot of key pieces out or questionable, and for some reason, I'm just going to go Eagles over the Broncos. The Panthers and Cardinals are our next matchup. Honestly, not much analysis needed. I already have a winner picked, but we're still going to do it. As for the Panthers, they are coming off of a loss against the Patriots. The Cardinals are coming off of a loss, even shorthanded. They're coming off of a win, I'm sorry. They're coming off of a shorthanded win over who are they coming off of a win? Why can't I find them? I'm looking. Cardinals, they beat the 49ers. Kyler Murray was out, DeAndre Hopkins was out, and yet they still were able to win. Impressive. So here we go. Here's the analysis for this game. The Panthers signed quarterback Cam Newton on Thursday. I basically called it in a dream of mine. I predicted the future. You want to hear a funny story? Well, I hope you said yes. If you didn't, skip ahead. If you said yes, then good. So, the last week on Saturday, I believe, a week ago today, I had a very random dream. I rarely ever remember my dreams. Never. Literally, I don't ever remember having dreams whatsoever. Last Saturday, I had a dream that I went to some sporting store, and I went and I was going to buy a jersey, and then I saw a Cam Newton Panthers jersey, and I bought it. But then I woke up and I was like, what a weird dream. That makes no sense. Why would I buy a Cam Newton Panthers jersey? The team, he left in 2019. So, why would I go buy a Cam Newton Panthers jersey? That makes no sense. And then, Thursday, I got the notification, Cam Newton getting a workout with the Panthers. And I was like, what? Yeah, literally. Maybe I was buying a Cam Newton Panthers jersey in my dream because I was predicting the future. But I had no idea at the time that he would sign with the Panthers. So it was weird. I did not expect that to happen. But yeah, literally last week I had a dream that I bought a Cam Newton Panthers jersey, and I was like, why? That makes no sense. Why would I buy a Cam Newton Panthers jersey? And then sure enough, just days later, the Panthers signed Cam Newton. So yeah, that was weird. But yeah. Sam Darnold was placed on the IR, meaning he'll be out for 3 games, which is why Cam Newton is important. Yeah. They have no major injuries that I have written on here, no major injuries, which means no starters are currently having a game designation. So, yeah. Then we have the Cardinals. Chase Edmonds, the running back, was set on the IR today. Like I talked about, I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. So that was not nice to see, but, it happens. Also for this game time decisions. Quarterback Kyler Murray, wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, both of them last week were also game time decisions, and they are set to be game time decisions again. So who knows? Out for this game include Justin Pugh, Rondell Moore, and Budda Baker. Really, it doesn't even matter. Panthers aren't that good. Cam Newton, it's his first week. He's in a new play calling system. It's hard to see him be successful in his very first game back with the Panthers. So I am going to go with the Cardinals in this game. Even if they're shorthanded, the Cardinals just simply feel like the better team. The Cardinals are first in the NFC with a record of 8-1. The Panthers are 8th in the NFC with a record of 4-5. If you're a Minnesota Vikings fan like me, you would want the Cardinals to win this game. So we're going to go with the Cardinals anyways. Even shorthanded, the Cardinals are just simply the better team. I doubted it last week, but they proved it right in front of my eyes. So we are going to go Cardinals over the Panthers. The Minnesota Vikings and Los Angeles Chargers are set to face off week number 10. Yep, that is my team. Obviously, as you know, we're in the Skull Cave right now, and that is my Minnesota Vikings. Do I like the team? Oh, yeah, I do. Do I like their head coach? No. If you actually want to know my feelings about the team, go to my last week video, my week 9 video. I was frustrated about it, and I will not get that frustrated today. I'm just saying, look at last week's video, and I got mad about their play calling, their decisions, their playing, literally everything. It went on for 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something about it. Yes. The Minnesota Vikings are coming off of a loss to the Baltimore Ravens. They had an easy chance again to close the door and take the win, but they just simply could not do it, and it made me frustrated again. They just couldn't do it. The Los Angeles Chargers are coming off of a win over the Philadelphia Eagles last week. The Vikings are 3-5. They are 9th in the NFC. The Chargers are currently 3rd in the AFC with a record of 5-3. For this game, the Minnesota Vikings will be without defensive tackle Michael Pierce. He was placed on the IR today, which is frustrating as a fan. Michael Pierce was hurt in week 4, and in week 6 they said they were hoping he would be ready to be back for week 8 against the Cowboys. And he was out week 8, out week 9, and then he was ranked as out week 10, and it was like, are you serious? Can this get any worse? And it just did. He is now on the IR and out for sure through week 12. So his next available time will be week 13 when the Vikings play in Detroit against the Lions. It is just frustrating to see the way it has worked out. But it's whatever, I guess. The Vikings will also be without corner Patrick Peterson. He's still on the IR, so he's ineligible to return until next week. And he is on track on his podcast, All Things Covered. He said he is set all ready to go for Week 11 against the Green Bay Packers next week. And they are going to need him. The Vikings will also be without Anthony Barr in this game. which is not great, but Anthony Barr, to me, he's not been a huge contribution to this team, except for last week. He had his big interception in overtime, but then the Vikings stalled because of their play calling. It made me mad because they should have had the win, but they couldn't get any good plays out there, and they couldn't get good protection, and I was mad about it. So, yeah. Who else? Pierce out. Peterson out. Harrison Smith is also out. He's still on the COVID list. He's unvaccinated, so that means he'll be out for this game, but he will be back next week. Bashad Breeland is listed as questionable. He is not very good, but honestly, at this point, the Vikings need any corner depth that they can get because of how shorthanded they are. In for this game will be running back Dalvin Cook. He was slapped with a lawsuit on Tuesday, I believe it was. He was hit with a lawsuit, but he is currently set to play because it is civil courts and because they don't have enough information to put him on the exempt list. Cook is set to play. I will not really comment on it. I will not take a side. Just going to, from the football standpoint, is the way I'm going to be dealing with it on this channel. From the football standpoint is what we're looking at. Cook is in, which is important for the team. As for the Chargers, in is linebacker Kenneth Murray. Assuming I read that right yesterday when I typed this out, Kenneth Murray is set to be, sure enough, 22 minutes ago, Chargers activate Kenneth Murray. He is set to be making his return after being on the IR. They will be without linebacker Drew Tranquill, doubtful in this game, corner Michael Davis, running back Justin Jackson, not Justin Jefferson. Questionable safety Nasir Adderley and wide receiver Keenan Allen and defensive end Joey Bosa. That is some important players right there. If Nasir doesn't play, if Keenan Allen doesn't play, and if Joey Bosa does not play, that is three important players right there. So, as for this game, I also found out today, I was rejoiced, the Vikings are wearing white tops with purple pants. Thank goodness. I love when they wear white tops with purple pants, not when they wear all white. I absolutely despise them wearing all white, so I was not happy when they wore all white last week. But luckily, they're wearing purple pants this week, so thank goodness. Vikings keep losing in close games, and it's making me mad. Their coaching decisions have made me mad. Their playing has made me mad. Their play calling has made me mad. Really, everything has gotten me really frustrated about this team. Clint Kubiak, they need to get rid of him, please. Mike Zimmer, they need to get rid of him, please. Hopefully after this game, because it'll be a home game, after this they will get rid of him. Finally, he is long overdue to say goodbye. I'm just simply, Vikings fans know around this entire nation, around the entire state of Minnesota, everyone here knows that change is needed. This team is not going to be a playoff team with the way they are right now. This team cannot win a Super Bowl with the way they are right now. They need to make a change, and they need to make a change now. They can't make a change in 2 weeks. They can't make a change in 3 weeks. They need to make a change now, as in tomorrow. Changes need to happen. Play calling changes. After the game, if they lose, Mike Zimmer changes. Clint Kubiak changes, even though that won't happen. I hope it will. This team just... change is needed. They need to change in the locker room. Something needs to give them hope because they have no hope right now. And because of that, I'm going to go with the Chargers in this game. I hate to pick the Chargers, but if I know my sources right, the Vikings are going to lose by less than 4 points in this game. They're going to lose by either 1, 2, or 3 points, and they're not losing by more than that. They're losing by 1, 2, or 3. Calling it. Because that is a Mike Zimmer thing to do. When he's got a team in a chokehold, he just can't hit the final punch, and instead he chooses to go conservative mode, and he needs his precarious defense to be the star of the show, and it never works out. I'm going to go with the Chargers over the Vikings. There's really no way the Vikings are winning this game, so we're going to go Chargers over the Vikings. Next up, we have the Chiefs, and we have the Raiders. The Chiefs are coming off of a win over the Green Bay Packers this week. The Raiders are coming off of a loss to the New York Giants, like I predicted. Let's read my notes, everybody. The Chiefs are going to likely be without running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Andy Reid said he's a stretch to be playing on Sunday, which means likely it will be Darrell Williams being the starter again, which is fine because I have him in 2 of my fantasy leagues. But I also do have Clyde Edwards-Helaire in one of them. But I would be okay leaving Darrell Williams to start for one more week. As for the Raiders, also questionable is corner L'Jarius Sneed for the Chiefs. The Raiders released corner Damon Arnett this week. I talked about it last week a lot more, about the video he posted and the lawsuit he's in. Yeah, the Raiders are just in a tough break recently, and now John Gruden sued the NFL. They're just simply not going good. So we are going to go... Oh, no major injuries. Important to note, written on here, no major injuries for the Raiders. The Chiefs were able to win last week, and the Raiders have so many distractions against him. There are a lot of people that are going to pick the Raiders, but you know what? I'm feeling like an upset in this one. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs over the Raiders. I just have a feeling that all the distractions right now that the Raiders have is going to hurt them again. And for some reason, I just have a feeling that the Chiefs are going to take home the win. We're going to go with the Chiefs over the Raiders. To close out the week, we have the Rams and the 49ers on Monday. Let's read the injury report, assuming that it is out by now. I sure hope it is. Oh my goodness, it's still not out. Wait, stop, it's gotta be out. There's absolutely no way that the injury report's not out yet. It is 3:25 p.m. Central Time, and usually it's out by like 2 o'clock, even on the West Coast. So it should be, no, not prediction, oops. So if not, then I'm just not going to do their injury report, so I'm not going to wait to film this last segment. I'm just simply going to just do it. I don't even care at this point. I'm just going to do it. If I don't find it in the next 10 seconds, I'm just going to do it and say whatever. I'm not going to base it off of the injury report. Yep, don't see it. So we're just going to do it anyways. Who cares about the injury report? We're just going to do it. The Los Angeles Rams today lost wide receiver Robert Woods for the season. He suffered a torn ACL in practice on Friday, and so he will be out for the rest of the year, which is crazy because on Thursday, I believe, or Wednesday, I don't even know what day, Thursday, I think, the Rams signed wide receiver Odell Beckham, who will be wearing number 3, which is interesting to see him wearing number 3, but okay. So, it is almost like they predicted the future. They signed Odell Beckham, and then Robert Woods was out. And they happened at different times. The Beckham signing was before the injury to Woods, so that was kind of weird, but whatever. I don't know what to report. I can look at yesterday's injury report. I don't know how much it'll help, but I will. Oh, I did not list where the Raiders and Chiefs were. The Raiders are 5th in the AFC with a record of 5-3. The Chiefs are 8th in the AFC with a record of 5-4. The 49ers are 11th in the NFC with a record of 3-5. And the Rams are currently 5th in the NFC with a record of 7-2. Let's go. Oh, it looks like the 49ers might have some injuries against him. Did not practice. This is yesterday, by the way. Yesterday did not practice. Eric Armstead, Tom Compton, Jermichael Hasty, Maurice Hurst, there we go, Drake Kirkpatrick, Mohamed Sanu, and Tavon Wilson. Limited, Arden Key, George Kittle, Elijah Mitchell, Emmanuel Mosley, Josh Norman, Jimmy Ward. Full practice, Alex Mack, both of the players, and Trent Williams. They were both just resting players. So that is the 49ers from yesterday. As for the Rams injury report from yesterday, let's check it out. That is the Rams. Did not practice is Brian Allen. Limited practice, Darius Williams and Von Miller. In full practice is Buddy Howell. So, injuries do not look in the favor of the 49ers. Injuries don't look in the favor of the 49ers, and the Odell Beckham signing is the Rams. I do trust them to give him some targets as he is set to play this week. Even with Robert Woods out, the Rams are just simply the better team in this matchup. We are going to go with the Rams over the 49ers. As a Vikings fan, we also do want the Rams to beat the 49ers. Week 12, the Vikings and Rams will face off in Santa Clara. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and share if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, peace. Have a good night. Peace out. Skol Vikings.